Ctrl.Alt.Thrive, where technology meets impact and purpose. I'm your host Navneet, and I'm so glad you are here. Thank you so much for supporting our show. This podcast amplifies women voices shaping the future of tech and AI in partnership with UNESCO Women for Ethical AI South Asian chapter. We bring you conversations with founders, innovators, and leaders who are not just building technology but doing it with intention and ethics at the core. If you care about the future of work, gender equity in AI, and how technology can create more inclusive opportunities, today's conversation will inspire you. I'm joined by Rashmi Rammohan, co founder and COO of FlexiBees, an AI platform that connects experienced women professionals with flexible, on demand opportunities across every stage of their life. Rashmi brings wealth of experience from her 10 years at P&G Asia in consumer insights and digital media. She has led FlexiBees vetting process, go-to-market strategy, and product building from the ground up. Her journey offers a front row view of what it takes to build an AI-driven company while centering women in the workforce. Hi Rashmi, how are you doing today?
Hi, Navneet. Very nice to be here. Thank you for having me on your amazing podcast. Yeah,
Thank you. So, Rashmi, I would love to understand how did you come up with the name FlexiBees and the entire idea behind it?
yeah. I think I'll do the idea before the name. um, so, thing is, we were three friends and we were batchmates from in B school in IMB together. Went and had our separate careers after that, and we got together later after we've all had we were in mid management doing well and things like that, but one of us faced this issue of having a break, taking a break because of maternity in one of the founders, and then as friends we were talking about it. It was very tough for her to come back to work. It was a problem that one of us experienced, and then we talked about it and we realized that, oh, okay, we assumed that flexible work would be very widely available, but it wasn't, and this was before COVID, so it's a different time and era. Remote was not so in then, just before that, and we started talking, and then we felt, okay, this is a problem. How do we fix it? We were just brainstorming, talking as friends, and then I think we applied our business mind to it. We were all in business jobs, we were looking at businesses, building businesses in our jobs anyway. So we quickly wanted to also kind of find a solution, like who will want to hire flexibly, and then we got excited about it. We thought we had a nice solution. We thought we should MVP it, and we did that. So the thing is, we felt smaller companies, startups would like to hire flexibly because they are struggling to hire in the full-time job market, and women obviously want flexible work, and a lot of them would be able to come back to their careers. We just started talking about it among ourselves, and we started sending feelers out to women around us, and it was very immediately, the need was very obvious to us. Then we went and did MVPs with startup companies, and we again saw demand. Also, they were also very happy. Oh, you have flexible talent who's experienced and who can come back to work, and or work flexibly. We don't mind that. They didn't mind it, and we it seemed like a win-win to us. So that was where the idea started. Then of course it took time to for it to evolve and scale to a platform and that kind of thinking. But when we looked for a name, we wanted something, I think, with the word flexible in it. So we wanted that, and then we liked. I think we were from branding backgrounds. We liked the imagery of a bee, and there was something happy and kind about, or industrious, I think bees are. So we felt like our women are like bees, flexi bees, and it also showed scale. For some reason bees are important, but bees also there's a bigness about it. So I everywhere, I think we just came up with the word ourselves. We brainstormed a lot around it, and we wanted something which shows industry but flexibility also, and that's how it's flexibies. Yeah.
No, that's amazing. So you mentioned that, of course, you offer flexible work support for women, right? How does your platform make this possible?
Yeah. So the thing is, the reality is, the problem of women dropping off is very stark. Okay.
Right,
So the India women labor workforce participation used to be around 20%. I think now the latest, there's finally we got some good news that it's improving. It was declining for years, but at best it's about 25% in urban India, which is also very low.
right,
25% only of women. It's not that they're not educated. There's a lot of them are degree educated, college educated, and they don't work. And other interesting thing is women actually have an edge in the beginning of the job. That's if you look at urban alone, there is an edge there. They are I think the eh, first jobbers or something, there's a study which said that 51% are women, so there's an edge, small edge, that women, they're almost at par with men in that segment.
right,
But the same people, what happens is, there's again another study. We don't have huge studies, we have small studies that we have to pick up all these from. There's another studies that shows that once they have 48 of them drop off, 48% of them drop off after the first 3 years of working. This
right,
is usually associated with either marriage or childbirth, things like that, right? And some of them who have powered through that, who didn't drop off in the first 48%, around the 30s, 50% more drop off when a woman hits 30. It's usually to look after a child or elder care in the house. So the problem is very stark, correct? But our solution to it is flexible work options
right,
and different types of flexibility depending on the life stage you're in. Today we are actually meeting women who are young, who have got their first maybe job experience or first two jobs experience, and out of choice want to work flexibly. They don't have constraints, they're not yet married or don't yet have a child, or they out of choice want to work flexibly. They see that they want to do other things in their life also. Somebody's into yoga, somebody's into health, or you know many other interests that they have. So there's one set like that. There's another set which is very starkly, it's usually around marriage or post marriage. When you have a child, they have to, some of them feel they have to take a break, they don't have a choice, they don't have help at
right,
home, they don't have support at home, they want to work flexibly. So for all of these people, we have, for us, our philosophy is, your type of flexibility, we find a good match for you.
right,
Same when the companies come to us, we usually actually start with the company. Our business building happens with the companies, because if they don't hire, we don't have jobs to give our women, correct? So
right,
we tell them to give different types of flexibility, so and then we find the best match even on the flexibility factors. So we put effort to find what the flexibility needs of the women are. We have structured our roles in such way, working part-time, working remotely, different hours, different roles need different hours only, like 4 to 5 hours a day instead of full-time work. But 4 to 5 productive hours a day is great, because
right,
I believe all studies say that full-time work is also productive for 6 hours. So six
right,
hours is what your productive work is in an 8-hour work day.
right,
So but our women are 4 to 5 hours productive. So we so different life stages that usually, exactly. So I think around when the children are young, they are able to give us 3 to 4 or 4 to 5 hours. Some of them, as the children get older and go to school, and they are able to give more time, so sometimes they are open to work hybrid also, we that type of flexibility also, but not every day. Nobody wants to commute every day. There's
right.
also that. So women's, I think, go through all these different types of flexibility needs, and we are able to match that with the
Yeah,
different types of flexibility in the jobs, on the roles that we kind of
yeah.
provide.
Great. How does AI power that vision?
Hmm. I think AI has been instrumental for us to scale this model that we have of matching uh, jobs with skills needed and flexibility factors to candidates with skills and flexibility factors. We have used AI very much in the matching.
Right,
Um, our differentiation is that we are a vetted talent platform. You come to our platform as a business, you will get to see a smaller number of better matched candidates. Now, this is made possible. I think we could scale the vetting with AI. without that we were struggling to scale it. It was very human, some of the vetting, and hence it was slower, it was tougher to scale, more expensive for us. To us really, I think in the last 2 years our product has transformed and completely changed, and I
Right.
have to give credit to AI to that. And we couldn't have done it without AI. I think AI solved the problem, the conundrum for us of quality versus scale. Usually
Right.
when you have quality you cannot have scale, correct? So
Right.
we are able to have a good match quality, but at the same time we are able to scale our matching, and that is a lot of credit to AI for that. Yeah. That's how we use AI.
Yeah. So when we look at research in South Asia, especially, shows that nearly 75% of women work in roles that may be disrupted by AI, and women are most vulnerable to losing their jobs to AI. And why do you believe it's important to retain women in workforce and more importantly in AI workforce?
Yeah, I think it's a great question. um, I think women have always been vulnerable when there is a job, the potential to lose a job.
Right.
Women have always been vulnerable. We saw this in COVID also. It was exactly this happened. More women lost jobs versus men. A lot of people lost their jobs, and a lot of businesses had to shut down. And we are seeing this, or we predict seeing this in the AI thing. But um, I why should I think the answer to why is it important is the same. It's not just about AI workforce, it is about any workforce.
Right.
It is important because women, like I was telling you the data, a lot of women are dropping off and not able to rejoin the workforce, right? And
Right.
it impacts them. One, there is a huge economic impact of this. For example, there's a study in McKinsey which says that if India were to increase our female labor participation by 10 percentage points, so from wherever you are now, if it's 25, you make it 35, that's 500 billion in impact on the economy. So there is a overall impact because the economy does better, there are more jobs, you are bringing them into the workforce. Things are so that's how things get added to the GDP and all of that. So there is a stark obvious because women participating in the economic workforce obviously improves the economy. That is one thing. But we also feel separately, we have done some kind of a study of our own among the women and how working impacts them. So women who are able to work versus women who are not able to work, who want to work flexibly but are not getting the jobs, versus women who are doing it, we see a significant difference in confidence levels among them, in
Right.
how their self-esteem, how they are perceived in their family, what they how the society perceives them, how they are listened to, do they have agency. All that improves. And and their economic independence, they are more financially independent. We've saw that around 22% improvement to the family's income happens, and that
Right.
income actually goes into helping the family save more, uh, and on children's education. That's somewhere where the pot of women's money goes to. So these are all hugely positive things, and it's a good virtuous cycle of helping women become more confident, self-esteem, children also. It impacts the family positively, the society positively. So we feel there's a good virtuous cycle of keeping women, to keeping women in the workforce. So
Right.
there is.
There was also like a German research. He actually tested the two different candidate profiles with
Hmm.
same education, same experience,
Hmm.
everything same except the race, gender, and
Hmm.
immigration status. And AI is telling women to ask for less money in job interview than men. So
The bias, right?
yeah,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. Yeah, the bias is a very, very, also a very strong, a very uh, significant issue that we have to, we have to be conscious of this, that these biases exist when we build. I think that's the best thing that we can do.
So, how do you address concerns around algorithm bias and gender sensitivity? in your technology since you're working with women, right?
Yeah. No, I think it's a great question, okay? And I think I have an example around this. I think at best I can explain is with an example. Is
Right,
that when so we have a vetting process, like I said, that's what we have scaled with our AI. And one part of the vetting process is a functional interview. It's an interview, and that's done by AI. Okay. So in the beginning, the interview
right,
usually used to focus on skills, experience, and scenario kind of questions. It's a mix of all this. And
right.
our women were we are interviewing all women were passing this interview largely okay. And it was fine. It was a good, we could discriminate between some skill sets, they're doing better, some are not that great, all of that. um, Somewhere down the line, I think as the interview structure got optimized, the weightage went more to scenario based questions and less of the other two, experience and skill based questions. Okay.
Right.
Then what we noticed, a lot of failures started happening. Women were not passing through the interview. Our women were not passing the criteria of the interview. There were a lot of failures. So we're like, what happened? What's happening here? Is something wrong? We couldn't. So we are first seeing the output, right? We don't go input first. But when we see a pattern that is strange to us, then
Right.
we went and we put some of our best candidates. When we say best, somebody who's performed at a client in a role, whose contract has got renewed, has got great feedback, so they're very good at their job. So that kind of a
Yeah.
person, we kind of, even that person failed. A couple of these failed, so we realized what is happening. So what had happened is that scenario based questions, they were not doing that well in. So I don't know if it is a gender problem or a gender plus the break problem. So for us, for example, all our women are coming back from a break. They are not used to taking interviews so frequently. Okay.
Right.
And maybe scenario based questions are more about cracking that interview, because not that it's not like they don't have the skill. So it's a very, it was unique to us, maybe our pool, but we saw it. The moment we saw it, we went, checked, figured out, and then we rebalanced it. And it was all perfectly fine, because ultimately your interview on your vetting should reflect what is going to happen in real life, right? Whether they can do the job or not. So I think there are, from this experience, we do feel that there are some things that maybe, eh, we could, the other way of looking at this is we could solve this problem also by skilling up our talent on
Right.
cracking the interview. Correct. That's also possible. So that's another way of, we see a problem, but I think it's important that we saw the problem, we kind of questioned it, we didn't take it for granted that, oh, all of these people are. And this is happening with anything that you build in AI, right? You cannot
Right.
just build, and you have to question when some things, are behaving differently and the outcomes don't match what you're thinking. You have to go pause, look at it, what has happened. So I
Right.
think because we are confident of this pool of the people, we have been working with this set a long time, we know that, oh, it's just out of the blue, it won't happen that a bunch of people just fail their interview, something must be, happening. So then we went and kind of looked at what was happening in the design itself. There was something, off in how the things were being weighted, or like I said, the proportion of questions were off, and it wasn't anyway right, or it was something that we had to fix, and we have to fix. So I think you have to keep a watch on some of these things. I think we have to be open to learning and changing things also.
Right.
Sometimes you can try something, but it may not always work. And I think the other thing with us is we are uniquely placed that we mostly operate women within the women's space, so we are not able to see this very, very starkly, the problems that may arise. But this itself gave us this feeling that we also have to be cautious that there could be biases that may come through, without us realizing that.
Right. But do you also feel that as your biggest challenge building AI driven company from scratch?
I don't know. I think building, um, to be fair, building any company from scratch also,
It's
because even
hard,
if we don't have
right?
AI, right, there are, you can all, you'll always face these places where things don't make sense, and you'll have to go back and check. I do think with, maybe the only unique thing I feel in the AI stuff is, things happen faster,
Right,
right? So, and sometimes when you're doing things fast, you may miss some of the, you know because you also want to operate fast, you also want to,
right,
that's the benefit also that AI is giving you, correct, that you're able to implement something much quicker, or do a change and see it happen. But I think, maybe we have to be a little more cautious and not let some details, because then sometimes you find the issue after it has snowballed into something bigger.
right.
And that happens faster, that's the thing. I think earlier it took time for things to snowball. So that may be a cautious thing to think
Yeah.
about.
So, what's the real market size and potential for AI in the flexible talent space?
So the flexible talent space itself, we have some estimates only. Again, according to some McKinsey report, probably a few years back, puts it at around 1.3 trillion dollar. Is
Right,
the dollars is the flexible talent space, and to me, to me, all of this is already impacted by AI. Actually, it's not that
right.
it's not.
It is.
Okay, I don't see anything. So AI comes in many forms. Is that the work itself, of course, being more, uh, AI plus human, and hence the fractional talent phenomenon
Right,
coming in. I actually think the pool will expand only. The size will
right,
expand, because as more and more roles become AI plus human, then the fractionality of the roles go up, and then they all get into the flexible talent space. So that is there. The other thing is platforms that enable all of this. To for us to realize the size of this economy, many platforms have to be there. People have to be able to hire more easily. All of this is impacted by AI. Just like we are doing, there'll be other people who are doing the same things in different forms for different target audiences. Like, you have tech talent, for example. There are so many platforms now for tech talent. Again, AI driven. AI impacts building those platforms,
right,
deploying them faster, all of those things. So I think there is nothing in this space that will not be impacted by AI. It's either directly or slightly indirectly. That's the only question. So if you
right.
see this, the size is very huge, I think, of.
Yeah. And I also feel like the companies who don't enable AI systems, they're going to be left behind because their competitors are already building in the space and
True,
they're going to take over because
true,
of course, even if we look at the funding landscape, also a lot of
true,
money is going into AI because
true.
it's quicker, it's faster,
Yeah,
and that kind of makes sense for growing, and it's also a lot easier, right?
yeah, yeah,
Um,
it is definitely.
yeah. So, how do you see that AI reshaping the future of work for women in emerging markets?
Hmm. I actually see it very positively. Okay,
Yeah,
to me, our, at least the pool of women that we have worked with, I think are very representative of women in emerging markets. Is the Indian woman who is, in her, who's just had a child, or who's taken a break, or who's
right,
to come back. That pool, I've already seen it. They are warriors of productivity. This is what they
right.
do. Their life is about being productive, right? They are squeezing time, finding some time in their day, and finding quality work to do in that time. To
Yeah,
me, AI is again a great tool in this person's hands. It just has to get there. So we are doing a few pilots actually. We are actually enabling some of our women to get trained, to get, skilled on some of, and it's a great productivity tool, and that's what the world has seen already, that AI makes you more productive. And
yeah,
women are anyway hungry for productivity, and that's by nature. They're great multitaskers. They're
yeah,
extremely productive. To, they squeeze a lot out of what little they have. So I think AI is one of those things that will make all of our women more productive. I think that, and many of them are already doing it in some form or the other. um,
right,
they've not brought it fully into their professional, abilities probably. And but it'll come. I've seen it in the personal side very strongly. A lot of them use them. And like I said, I think in our pool itself, every time we have tried to kind of, our own employees and our the candidates whom we place, we see that a lot. Somebody in sales, a lot of women in sales is a very big vertical for us,
Right.
use AI help to draft their emails, their communication, things that augment their day. It's the more simpler usages, but at the same time it saves time and being productive. So as AI gets better and people are more comfortable using it, I think it'll only get better actually for the women.
Absolutely. And also, like, if we look at studies, especially
Mm.
in India, shows that about 50% of women drop out of the
Yeah,
workforce after their first child.
yeah,
I mean, I think overall, South Asia is among the steepest declines globally.
yes, it
And
is.
I definitely see that, like, of course, we definitely need more platform which empowers women to come back to workforce. Also, flexible work policies are super
Mm.
important because
True.
especially after childbirth, women are actually not feeling the same, right? Because their body
Yeah,
has gone through huge transformation. So how do you actually also mentally coping up, you taking care of
yeah,
yourself but the child, but also what we see, because I work very closely into women's health tech space as well. And
yeah,
yes, what we see that is, of course, when the all the attention goes to a child and the mother
yes,
is again just left alone.
correct,
So
correct.
you were just like, oh, everyone's so excited, like she's taken care of so nicely
Yeah,
until she conceives, and once she conceives, that now all the attention goes to baby. But what about mother? She has actually is not she's not a same human now, right?
yeah,
So
yeah,
and I think that's super important, that you lost your confidence because you probably don't fit into your clothes, you don't
yeah,
look the same way. So women
yeah,
have a psychologically so much effect on their, it actually affects your overall confidence at workplace. And then of course you're also so much behind because you've taken
yeah,
maternity leave and the world is running really really fast, like
true.
if you don't catch up. So
Yeah,
I definitely see like emerging markets, like India is one of the emerging markets for sure, and that's where we need to empower, more women to come
yeah,
back to workforce. So, as a founder and COO, what does that ethical AI mean to you, and how does that translate into your services and products?
yeah. It's again a, I think, good and profound question, and I think um the example I gave earlier kind of explains a part of this. I think is that. Ideally, I think something as simple as do no harm is a great thing to have as a mantra. Okay, because I feel it's not the easiest thing to kind of arrive at. Uh, for us, I think one is mm, we feel like because we are in the business of matching, vetting, and and this gives people a certain set of opportunity. And
Right.
uh, eh, we believe that when a job comes, we should find the best matched candidates to show this job to. Okay, so it's important for us that we do the matching as fairly as possible, and making sure that exactly we are trying to vet for the fact that they will perform in the job well. I think that's one big challenge in this space, and I think it's not just about us. You hear it a lot even outside. A lot of things, there are a lot of complaints around, AIs are writing resumes, AIs are screening resumes. There is no, and a lot of people feel like they get rejected based on the keyword in your resume. It's as simple, like, if your resume is doesn't have some words or has some words overly, you get rejected from an opportunity, you don't get to see anything. So we have tried our best to make our vetting algo much more uh, rounded. Okay, and I think it's to do with the fact that again we are operating with a set of people who have been away from the workforce for some time. So their resumes actually are not very great. Okay, so if I would screen them based on resumes, it would be unfair to them. There would be great candidates, but their resumes don't speak as much as they should. So we then make sure that we are getting a much better view of the candidate, not just of the resume. We put her through some process where we can gauge her strengths, gauge her, interview her with AI, of course, to scale, of course, AI interview and things like that, to score for her skills, not just go by what is written. Or so I think. And we also look at her life. We look at her life stage, um, flexibility needs. We have created ways to do this, which don't exist. Like, I couldn't buy it or anything. We had to create some of this, how to ask her questions about her life, so that so that we understand them in the holistic way. I think for us, so this is our interpretation of fairly matching to someone. Again, not playing to the norms. Do not Let's not, because again, I think, because we are operating with a pool that has been a little bit outside of the active workforce, we have had to do all this. We have had to build all this to gauge what is the truth and what is the reality. But at the same time, I think it also proves it can be done, right? So I feel that, even bigger platforms, maybe a little more effort, and we could probably make it a little more fairer for everyone, and or even playing field. So I think for us, that part is very important.
So, what excites you the most about the future of AI plus human collaboration?
Yeah, I think, currently, how as it stands, I think it's more, it makes me a little nervous, but I
Right.
feel like, I feel we are yet to see the good parts of where we could go with this. Okay, human plus AI. I feel like right now we are at the place where it seems a little drastic. It's almost like, oh, people have this feeling that it's either extreme, either AI can completely replace things or replace human beings, and there's a lot of fear and nervousness around it. I do think that we need to find a way to bring things together and work together, and it will happen. I think it will. I do feel very excited about things that we could do with AI, which we could not do before. A lot of it in the medical field, a lot of it in solving,
Education as well, right? Yeah.
yeah, a
Yeah.
lot of it in, health, education. I think access in general, right? Access
Right.
becomes easier.
Yeah.
Any frog leap in technology means some new set of people get to access things more easily. I think this will also bring all of that. So there is positive stuff, I think, to be held. And I think that all of us who are building in these spaces also, to some degree, can help in the human plus AI thing. So we have been very deliberate about it. Okay, we
Yeah.
feel it has to be a human plus AI thing, because when things go wrong, you go back as humans and check what's happening, right? You
Yeah.
don't let things just so. We feel very strongly that way, and I feel like as more people build with that mindset, that it's a human plus AI will work, then we will start to see, the really good stuff happening.
Yeah, no, absolutely. The future looks quite exciting.
Hmm.
And I completely agree that access to information, to tools, and also access
Knowledge.
to better healthcare is AI can really empower and transform industries. Um, if, in your opinion, what impact could UNESCO Women for Ethical AI Network have on young women who are building new products in AI?
Mm, I I think that a lot of such networks, usually uh, it it helps you get exposure to things as you meet other people in the space. I know
Right.
people, what I mean, it can be said as networking, but I think as women and founders, women founders also, and women also in general, I think we we founders gain a lot by talking to people who are in different fields. Actually, you may have AI is one common thread, but how it gets applied in different fields, inspires you differently.
Right.
At the same time, I also think that women, there are also studies to say this. For example, in founders, women founders, for example, for them, purpose seems to be a huge factor in why they become founders. It's a distinguishing factor between women and men. Men founders more around financial and power, and women are more around purpose. So it just fits very well, right? Women, ethical AI, and I think women, I think, can go do a very good, especially in the human plus AI thing. I think women are also very sensitive to the fact that human beings, the needs of other human beings, there is
Right.
an empathy angle also there. So I think that this will help. This network helps uh, other women founders by inspiring each other, helping each other. And I think some of the problems we are going to face are all new problems, right? These are new. We are all building new things which haven't been. So it always helps to have a group which kind of can guide on such, I think, tough problems, difficult problems.
No, absolutely. And how many women do you have under your platform? And like, I just want to understand a bit on the numbers part and which
Around
state.
100,000 plus women.
Okay, 100,000 plus. Is it all around the world or
No, India.
India
Our
only?
women are in India, yes.
So you're just focused on Indian market as of now.
The women pool, we feel we are focused on the Indian market now, but the
Okay,
clients for us can be from anywhere. Okay, so we
great.
have
You have
clients. This is
100,000 women on your platform. That's amazing.
yeah.
And when did you start the company?
It's been we 2020 incorporated properly our head
Right.
office. We had an MVP running before that, but that was, we hadn't properly, made it a company and started raising money. We did all that in 2020 around. Yeah.
Great. And do you have currently funding or?
Yeah, we do. We raised our first round. We raised a friends and family round, and that was a small round, of course. And then after that, recently, around not recently, I know time flies. Around a year back, we raised a seed round, which we our lead investor is Inflection Point Ventures,
Right.
and we raised a seed round, and then uh, we probably will raise another round in 6 months or so.
Amazing. So, if you could redesign one aspect of today's tech industry for better, what it would be? Make it short.
I think I would like it to be a little more inclusive.
Yeah, agree.
Yeah, the tech industry, it's just so happened that the pace at which things have gone, it's not very inclusive. At least the reaping of the rewards in the tech industry is not very inclusive, let me say it that way. And I don't mean it's just about gender is a factor also, where but it's
Right.
also about different tiers or segments of people, and all of that. So I think if the growth and the rewards could be more inclusive, I think it would be better.
Great. So, we have a quick rapid fire. It's rapid fire, so you have to be
Okay,
quick.
I'll be first.
Yeah.
Okay.
If AI could take over one boring task in your day, what would you hand over?
I actually don't do boring tasks, but because
Do-
I have optimized a lot, but maybe
One boring task which you probably don't enjoy and you think, yeah, AI can take over this.
to-do list probably.
Okay. How do you cool off, take breaks from talking
Hmm.
about AI?
uh, I think I watch a lot of mind-numbing content or TV, I would say. Like I watch K drama, or I watch things that I don't want to. Then that's really, I think, helps switch my brain off, or
So it's K drama,
K
right?
drama is my thing. Is my poison. My
Okay.
choice of poison.
What one AI policy in India or globally you would like to influence and why?
I think putting guardrails around children using it. I think so. I feel
Completely agree. Such a
I,
good
I
point,
yeah.
actually. Yeah.
I feel we've learned our lesson from social media. In
If
fact,
you could have a dinner with one tech visionary, past or present, who it would be and why?
oh, there are so many, but I want to
Who's
go
your
for a
favorite? Like,
I want to go for a woman. So I would say maybe it's more recent in my mind. Whitney Wolf is a great example. I think she not only she did something very, the story is very cool, right? And
right?
Tinder, Bumble, and women, making a point or making
Yeah,
women
yeah. Giving
first.
women
Yeah,
freedom.
agency and freedom. So, and I think she'd be fun. I also think she'd be fun. Like if you have to have dinner with somebody, you have to have somebody who's fun. So I
Of
just
course.
feel she probably would be fun to talk to. I mean, at least the Bumble experience seems very cool. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
absolutely. And okay, I always ask this question to all my listeners, for all my listeners, and of course, our guest as well, that what's the one advice you want to give to young women who are building in tech or AI space?
I think I would give the same advice to women who are building in any space, but
Right.
is that be bold and brazen. I think women are not brazen enough. That's what it is. I think we have to be. It's just
Absolutely. Totally agree. Yes. Great, we are done. Okay, thank you so much for
okay.
joining me. It was such a great conversation, and I really appreciate your time. So, I absolutely love what you're doing, and I hope we
Thank
can
you.
inspire more women to come back to workforce and
Thank you.
lead their life and live
Yeah.
fully and embrace it who they are. I think there has never been better time than this to build, support women, and the people like you are completely changing the game. So I really
Thank
appreciate
you.
you and thank you so much for joining.
Thank you so much for having us, and thank you. And I think this network is great, and we're very happy to be part of it and looking forward to learning more from it and participating the best we can. It's definitely a thing that is needed, and ethics in AI is uh, absolutely important. Absolutely has to happen, has to be there. That sense, and it's great that you guys are doing your part and we can participate also. Thank you so much.
Thanks.